If I could ask Dr. Linda to take a seat, if I could ask Dr. Munir, Dr. Mian to join us again, and Amina Ahmed, if you could join us back on the stage, if you may. Thank you. And I'd also like to introduce our chair for this next session. If I could ask Mr. Abdul Hamid Evans to join us. Thank you very much. Mr. Abdul Hamid Evans is from Imarat Consultants and chair for our panel discussion now. So I'll hand this over to you. There you go.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everybody. And I would like to, again, congratulate the organizers of this event. I know how much work is involved in doing things like this, and this is a wonderful initiative, and we hope that it will become an annual event. You've all heard the talks. Now it's your time for questions. So if we could just have hands raised and for any questions, and please just say who you are and where you work, and keep your questions succinct if possible.
Hi there. My name is Saeed Shah. What I wanted to know was there's so much focus on obviously the ritual slaughter side of things, but what you've highlighted today is that there is so much more to food that the general public just don't seem aware of. And how are we going to get this message out that actually halal is so much more, but we are taking interest in the ingredients more so than perhaps the general public? So this is part of the Tayyib side of things. Any thoughts?
I think that's yours and Saqib's job to do that. my request is give the industry a chance to ask the questions and not the organizers.
Okay, not really.
My request.
There's a question on the back right there.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, gentleman here. Yep. Yes.
I'm Steve Maloney from Kitchen Range Foods. We don't do meat, so stunning is of no interest to me. We have recently come across a situation where we supply Saudi Arabia with a product that they question the content of nutmeg in very low levels. I was just wondering if you could give me some guidance on that.
This is nutmeg.
No, this is for, I think, Amina. This is
for accreditation.
Anyone will do.
I think nutmegs basically is a spice where you process that, and during processing you may have added something into it as a free-flowing agent, or you have added some preservatives, and you have added something in a fatty acid that make it not suitable. Therefore, they're asking you to give us a halal certificate for nutmegs. When you process it, a lot of spices we consider they are natural, but again, when you process them, they cannot be easily free flow. They cannot be processed. Therefore, we add anti-dusting spray on it. Sometimes we add free-flowing agents in it, and every single thing has to be halal suitable. Otherwise, they will ask you the question. I believe that was the reason maybe they're asking that question.
Thank you. That makes it much clearer. Thank you.
Yes.
I actually just have a very quick question from you were talking about the ingredients, and I'm just wondering if the work that you're doing with the GCC standard on ingredients, is this going to be helpful to you in the work that you're trying to do with the accreditation and certification in Dubai and in what work you're doing there? Are you waiting for this to come in order to assist you with your own lab work, or will you try to do your own lab work on the ingredient side? Will you take advantage of what she's doing?
In the accreditation, yes, we will follow the GCC standard for the additives and for the other. Yes, we are waiting for the standard to be developed and to be ready. And the same standard we will use at the time of the accreditation of the certification body for certain product. Yeah.
There's a question right there, actually. No, right there. Behind the camera. Behind the camera.
Yes. Organic farmer from Wales.
Sorry, it's me again. Robert Newborough from North Wales. I'd like to thank Dr. Linda for making rather a boring subject really interesting. Thank you, Dr. Linda. It's a broad question, this. We're a farm producing our own meat, so we're not big, and we're organic. But we do value the marketplace that we're serving enormously. there is a cost attached to getting from A to B. And I know it's a plaintive cry, but being small producers, starting somewhere, hoping to develop a market, we're finding it very difficult to carry some of the costs that are put upon us in order to comply with the certification on very slow volumes, very, very small volumes. And I can use an example. For instance, we halal kill our chickens, and we produce 500 chickens a week. We've so far only developed a market for upwards of, 40 chickens a week, and that's taken us so far 9 months to do. We're hoping for bigger things. We're hoping that we will get our chickens into the Middle East, and the signs are extremely good. We service customers with our lamb like Berj Al Arab, top-end customers. But the startup costs are enormous, and I was wondering whether some thought had been given to enabling small producers such as ourselves to get a lot, some of the way by a degree of trust in what we do, by spot auditing and complying with all the regulations, but allowing us to develop a market at a cost we can absorb in the initial period. It's a broad question and perhaps a difficult one for you to answer, and I hope you see where I'm coming from.
Any ways of enabling small producers to get high-end products into GCC markets?
We're registered under the Soil Association at the moment for our organic certification, which is the Rolls-Royce end of the certification body. We pay them an annual fee. They spot audit us anytime. They can walk into the farm. They go through all our books. They're very welcome. That's our brand. That's our security, if you like. I would like to think that for small producers like us, that halal certification body can take on board my plaintive cry. Thank you.
That's a request to your halal certification body, but I think the reverse question is, if cost of certification is a barrier for you, you're too small that the cost per pound is too much, that would be a barrier. Then you need to work with your certifier or any other certifier to accommodate you. We would not put, if you hire a person to slaughter and he's full-time, you slaughter only halal, we would not assign a supervisor over that person. We would use a different formula. We would put a camera and have a live feed to our office to supervise. There are things can be done to decrease the cost. But on a project like this, marketing and certification cost, I'm putting marketing with certification, is not the highest cost. Your cost is high because your management cost is high. Your cost to acquire the raw material is high because you're doing only 500 a week. Once your volume goes up, cost will be evened out. Okay? I'm a certifier, so I cannot see from the company side, but I see from the certifier side.
My name's Lorraine Hughes, and I work with En Route International. I have a question that's likely to be answered by Linda, I think, but maybe taken up by anyone else on the panel. I'm working with a juice blend to export it, and basically it's a juice that's made from concentrate, so you'd think that GSO 794 2010 would apply because that's for fruit drinks, but this drink has got natural flavoring added to it, and that natural flavoring has alcohol as a carrier. What would be the percentage alcohol that would be allowed into the GSO at a maximum, considering the complexity?
Okay. Regarding juice, the content of alcohol generally in flavorings, that has always been like a big dilemma in the GCC. From the context, like alcohol is not permitted from the halal point of view. So now, in some standards, for example, they state you can have a certain percentage in the product. For example, through fermentation, not added. Like when it comes from fermentation, it's not voluntarily put into a product. In this case, for example, in juices, you will have it from fermentation. In some standards, for example, they state there is a level of 0.03%. So this is permitted, as long as it is stated on the standard. So you can have that in the product.
Maybe you've got time for one more. I think I got my 5-minute notice a little while ago, so one more.
Okay, hi. This is Saqib Mohammed from the HFA. I've got a very straightforward question for Madam Amina. We all now know about SMIC standard and UAE standard 2055-2, which provides the standard how to accredit certification bodies. When I say certification bodies, it is halal certification bodies, right? So my question is, has DAC launched this scheme yet? And if they have they ever accredited any halal certification body under this standard, under this 2055-2? Because as per the training that we all attended last year, it was under consideration. So I just wanted to know the developments into it, and then if any developments are being made, when they will be officially launched and workable for us. Thank you.
Thank you. According to this standard, we can say that DAC is ready to provide an accreditation according to this UAE standard 2055. We receive so many requests from certification body in UAE and outside UAE, and we are working with them. But till now, there is no any certification body that it is accredited to this standard. Not because of DAC, because the certification body is still, they are not ready to comply to the standard. But from our side, if there is any certification body who is ready, we are ready to provide an accreditation according to standard. But as I mentioned in my presentation, that already we give one accreditation certificate to the slaughtering house for the inspection of slaughtering house. Already it is done in 2014, but certification not yet. But we are ready.
We are coming up.
Thank you very much. If I could thank our chair.